Welcome to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. I've been invited into the tour home of an enigmatic blog sensation. His name is spelt capital S-O-H-N. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to get my special guest to introduce himself.
Yeah, hi, how's it going? So, I'm SOHN, which is like John with an S in terms of how you pronounce it, even though it was German in the first place. So it came from SOHN, which would be son, like father and son. And I've sort of reclaimed it for my own actual name, so it became SOHN, basically.
So, son, am I saying that right?
Yeah, SOHN, yeah. John, SOHN, it's all cool.
SOHN, you've said that your songs are based on the spaces between sounds. I'd love you to explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, it sort of all started from a bit of a eureka moment where I realised that music that I'd been making before starting the first song, which became a SOHN song, I kind of felt like I was overstuffing everything and putting too much information in my music that I was making and stuff. And there was a definite moment which coincided with me living in another country and deciding to live somewhere there was more space and more room to breathe, that it found its way into the music, and then it became about the gaps that I was leaving rather than the space I was filling, basically. Hi, this is SOHN, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Welcome back to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host.
Sorry.
That's okay. In the background, SOHN is coughing because he has a bit of a cold.
I do, yeah. I've picked it up on 6 weeks of touring I've finally picked up a cold, which I thought wouldn't happen.
So I'm going to try to maintain my distance.
Yeah, it's like you're 6 meters away right now, which is really weird.
You just heard Artifice. That's off the debut record by SOHN. That record's called Tremors. I'd love it if you could say a few words about this track.
Yeah, Artifice was a sort of weird growling monster of a track, which I quite like about it. It's meant to sound quite chaotic and quite sort of enthralling and sort of grabbing you up and pulling you along. The lyrics were very much about being kind of lost and not really having a strong idea about what's going on around you anymore. So I wanted the song to sound very chaotic to circle that vocal, basically.
SOHN, you've admitted to playing in several terrible bands before Radiohead's Kid A album introduced you to electronic sounds. So I'd love you to talk a little bit about your horrible past band life.
Oh, I've done a lot in my time, actually. I've had about 4 lives, I would say. Yeah, anything from, first of all, singing when I was a kid and sort of being in weird a cappella groups and stuff like that. Then deciding that I was a guitarist and I didn't sing at all, and just deciding, okay, right, I'm only into rock music now, and sort of into some really bad hair rock stuff. And then there was a period where I was in a band that was trying to sound like Muse, but didn't quite achieve it, probably by about 600%. Yeah, and then I sort of slowly found my way to electronic sounds and electronic music, and I got rid of other people in the band. That was the most important thing, who were leading me astray and making me make terrible music. Yeah, became a solo guy, basically, and gradually found my way here.
A lot of entrepreneurs will tell you that you aren't really an entrepreneur until you've failed at least once and kept going. Does that apply to band life?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I can't think of a better way to put it, actually.
I've also read that it took you a little while to get comfortable with your singing voice. What was the first step to being okay with performing?
A lot of it was hearing music by your sort of peers who make it okay to have the type of voice which I have, which of course is very sort of high. And when I was at school, for example, it was just a thing where I didn't even tell anybody that I sang because my voice was so high. I was just like, no, I don't sing. I play guitar, and I'm not doing that. And then it took me probably until I was about 20 before I actually started singing again. And singing was my main thing, so it was quite a big deal that I didn't sing for, 7 years or something like that. Yeah, then I started to listen to some voices that were similar to mine, so like Jeff Buckley and Tom York, I guess even Matt Bellamy as well, and gradually started to sing along to these things and realised that my voice was relevant, actually, and wasn't something which you should sort of be ashamed of in any way. Hi, this is SOHN, and you're listening to The Interview Show with Scott Wood.
Welcome back to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. You just heard Lessons off the debut record by SOHN. That record's called Tremors. I'm sitting here in the back of the tour van with SOHN himself. I'd love it if he could talk a bit about this track.
Lessons was another sort of marauding monster of a track for me. I wanted it to really sound like something's trying to grab at you, like some part of life is trying to really get at you and hurt you. It was about not going back to a hurtful relationship, so for me it was this idea, this sort of marauding, horrible memory is trying to grab you back, and I wanted to make the track sound as nasty as I could to reflect that, and hopefully I did so.
So, as I said at the beginning of the show, you're a little bit of a blog sensation. What's the best and worst thing about being a blog superstar?
It's a funny thing, because around all of that stuff I've not actually been that aware of what's going on, because I try not to look. And of course you do look still. But I guess the main thing which is good about it is that it suddenly reached a load of people really quickly as soon as I started to make music as SOHN, and it kind of immediately impacted and hit a lot of people. I guess the worst thing is that people probably write it off without hearing it, because they just think, oh yeah, that's that thing that everyone's talking about, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to hate that. So that's maybe the worst thing about it.
SOHN, you produced your debut record, Tremors, all by yourself. Some musicians like bringing in an outside producer to give them an outside perspective or to help focus their music. Why was that not the right choice for you?
I guess I just hadn't found that person. I'm not against the idea of doing that particularly. I'm not against the idea of having, because I am producing now for other people as well, so I actually see from the other side how having someone to help unlock something within you where maybe you're doubting something yourself, and that other person can sort of lead you through it and say, no, this is a great idea. So I'm not against the idea, but I just at this point hadn't found anybody that I would have trusted with my sort of vision of what I wanted to do, and I'm really controlling, so there's that as well.
If you could create your dream producer or describe him or her, who would that be, and what are one or two qualities they would have to possess to make the writing partnership work?
I think that the perfect producer for me would allow me to just go and do like my mad stuff and just play with a load of instruments and be keeping an eye out for where the most exciting things come out. I think that would be really, really handy. And they'd actually have to know how to like record some stuff, which I'm not that aware of. And a lot of the stuff which I record is really scruffy. Like there are pens on the record that are recorded with like a SM58. So there's like some terrible, terrible mic techniques going on in my record. Hi, this is SOHN, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Shotgun poetry, crack the whip again, make me see, sharpen your knives for me, infiltrate the mind, the body. Contract, killer prose, calling walks away, as blood flows, open, the wound grows, melts away, the water froze.
into the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. You just heard Bloodflows off the debut record by SOHN. That record's called Tremors. I've got SOHN himself here with me in his tour van. I'd love it if you could talk a bit about this track before you erupt coughing from sickness again.
Yeah, Bloodflows was a track which it's kind of a big track for me, I guess, because it became this idea that I was an R&B singer, which for me isn't actually true, but kind of interesting. And it was about listening to other songs which provoke a memory which you really don't like, but doing it anyway because it just makes you feel something. So Bloodflows was a song about songs, actually.
SOHN, you're one record into your career, and already I've read that you've gone to LA to write for other big name artists. You have a rather distinct sound, so I'm hoping I can get you to compare writing for others with writing for your own project.
Yeah, writing for others is really fun, actually. Like, writing with others, I should say, because I don't write for others particularly. I like to get in with the artist and see if anything can sort of come about. When I was first starting doing this, and I got in with Banks quite early, and we did a song called Waiting Game together, and I guess that was a really cool experience because I got to basically make all of the music with her there. So we were just playing around with music, and then, you know, she'd start singing something and I'd hear a word in there which I really like, which she wouldn't have even noticed that she sang, and so I'd be able to pick that out and say, all right, how do we construct this line so that you can keep that word, because I felt like it was a really perfect placing of the word and stuff. And then, of course, when the artist brings their own kind of character and style to something which I'm writing almost in exactly the same way that I would write something for myself, so suddenly this new character comes into the song.
You've said that Jack White from the White Stripes would be an interesting guy to work with. Why?
I just think that he doesn't have any rules. I think that's a great thing to have as a musician, where you've just got this idea of anything. I can pick up anything and make music out of it, and it's fun. I like the idea of that, and I think it would be really fun to work with someone like that.
Jack White is really into taxidermy. How would you match him with a really weird habit?
Is he really? I didn't know that. He's into taxidermy.
A lot.
Is he really? I've got no idea how I'd match that. Probably with a sort of collection of almost exactly the same hoodies, even though that I've got 20, 30 of them already, and they're all totally different, but everybody thinks they're the same one. It's a good start.
I think that's a really good start. You've said that stoners are really responsive to your music. Why do you think that is?
I think because some of the stuff that I'm doing can sort of hit us. Certainly I think like of stoners, and I think of the space thing and the reverb thing, and being able to hear the spacing in the music really sucks in people who've taken some recreational drugs. Yeah, that's probably the reason, I guess, and they can hear a lot of detail in what's going on, which there is a lot of detail in my stuff.
You've said that two things excite you about music: tricks and honesty. Can you talk about a musician who is outrageously clever or tricky?
Outrageously clever or tricky musician. Oh, there's loads. There's loads where I suddenly hear something and think, oh, that was just genius, like little bits and pieces. Oh, God, put me on the spot. Like, for example, when you listen to Michael Jackson records and you hear little bits that Quincy Jones has put in the middle, like Speed Demon, for example. You have to listen to Speed Demon. It's like in the chorus, the chorus, you know, the most straightforward part, where it says like Speed Demon, and then there's this synth thing which just goes like, and in a pop song, which is just amazing. So it's little things like that which make me really excited about music.
All right, SOHN, thank you very much for taking some time out with me today and inviting me into your tour home. It's quite the swank touring van. At the end of the show, I love it if the guest could pick one of their own tracks and talk a bit about it as I bring up the music.
So then I'll choose probably The Wheel, which was one which got everything started, and was a big moment for me because it was the moment where I wrote a lyric which told me something which got the whole thing started. So it was about suddenly all this fuss over nothing, reinventing the wheel, all this searching for something that's not real, which for me was like a massive thing of trying to make some really good music and thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? And then suddenly these lyrics came out which just shot all of it away and just made the song itself. So that was probably the best starting point for SOHN, and probably the best way to leave this.
It's going to be the ending point for this show. We're going to listen to The Wheel by a guy called SOHN off his debut record, Tremors. Thank you very much for being on my show.
Welcome. Thank you very much for having me. Hi, this is SOHN, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
And how about one where you are happy, even though you're sick, to be on the show?
That was me happy. That's like my happy voice. All right. Hi, this is SOHN, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
I died a week ago. There's nothing left. It's caught on video. The very last breath. 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 Internal avalanche. Cave in a mind. Covering all evidence. The very last time. 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 All this fuss over nothing.